Hello, fellow knowledge graphers. We're really happy to say we have finally released a new version of LinkedDataHub, version 3.0. And in this version, we took inspiration from Jupyter notebooks and tried to make a simple but RDF-native knowledge graph notebook with focus on the consumption features and full integration of linked data as well as SPARQL. So in this video, I want to show you a couple of new features that are in this version. So I'll switch to my LinkedDataHub instance here, and this is a clean new instance, except that I created some HTML content here. And then I'm an owner of this instance, meaning I'm authenticated with my web ID and I have full access to it. But the first feature I want to show you is social login or login with Google so far. So let's pretend I'm a new user who wants to gain access to this instance. And then what I can do is go to the corner here, click login with Google. And then I just need to select my account, and then LinkedDataHub will behind the scenes create a user account for me, and then you can see I'm already authenticated. So the next step I can do is I can request access to this instance. I can choose the level of access that I want. Let's say I want write access as well, and I create the request. So now let's go back to the browser where I'm the owner of this instance. So I can go to the administration part, and then I see there's a notification that someone requested access. In this case, it's myself. So what I can do is review the request. If it looks good, I can just click allow, and then it will be converted to an authorization, which will allow this new agent to access my instance. And I'll come back to that, showing you some decentralized use case. So another cool feature is content. Now documents can have a list of contents with different types of content in it, from queries to charts to just embedded or transcluded linked data resources and so on. So for example, let's create some chart from SPARQL results using Wikidata as a service. So here I've prepared a SPARQL query that selects the best science fiction movies on Wikidata and orders them by score. And we need the URL of the SPARQL endpoint. Then we can go back to LinkedDataHub, and then let's create Wikidata as a service. So this means a SPARQL service, a SPARQL service with an endpoint. Let's create that. So, and now Wikidata will appear both here in the search bar, but let's go to the SPARQL editor, and we can see Wikidata appears here as well. So now this query will be executed not against the default SPARQL service of this instance, but against the remote Wikidata service. So now let's get the query string. Let's paste it here and run it. And here we get results as a table. We can sort them. But you can also save the query by clicking this button here, the query string only. But that's not what we want. We want to save a chart, which in turn will save a query, so we get both. And but let's configure the chart first. Let's try bar chart, film label, and score, ordered by score. So you can see Terminator is on the top here, 100 out of 100. So to save the chart, let's click the Save button in the bottom here. So two forms will open. First is for the query string or for the query. So let's save that first. And then the second one is for the chart, and all the chart configurations are already filled in, so you don't have to do that. Now we can go to the chart container and check it out. And here we get the same chart. So the next thing I want to show you is how to simply add or copy, or you could say fork data from linked data resources, linked data documents, as well as SPARQL results. And in this case, what I'll do is I'll go to IMDb and copy a URL of the movie Dune, because LinkedDataHub not only it can read RDF formats, it can read HTML pages with JSON-LD metadata embedded in it and the script tag. So I can simply paste the Dune URL here, and I can see the data. I can even switch in a different layout mode, see it as a graph. So the simplest way to save it is just by clicking the Save button on the right side. It will open a new form, and I'll try creating a new document for it. We don't want to save it into the same document as the chart, and it will be under root, and let's call it Dune. Okay, so let's save the IMDb resource into the Dune document. And here it is. Now we have our own document with metadata from IMDb. This document is now in our own triple store, and we can query it through the endpoint of this instance of this data space. So let's go back to the root resource, and I can show you how we can create data-driven content with LinkedDataHub and combine those resources we just created. So I copied the URL of the local Dune resource that we have, and I'll create a content for that. So just paste the URL here, and then make this content the second content after the HTML content I already had. And let's just save it. We can see now Dune has been created as the second piece, the second block of content on this page. But let's go back to the charts container, copy the URI of the chart that we created earlier, go back to root, and then back to editing mode. And let's add another block of content. Paste the chart URI here, and let's connect it. Let's put it after Dune, and just save it. And we can see after Dune, now we have another block, and this is the SPARQL based chart rendered from the SPARQL result. So we just created 3 pieces of content, or I had created one in the beforehand. So and now I want to go back and show you this other browser where I had requested access as a new user, and as the owner I approved that access, and I'll go back to the root document, and I can see all the content that was created, almost. And I can even go into editing mode and start editing data. So this is what's new in LinkedDataHub 3.0. You can read more about the features on the GitHub page, and you can click the Get Started button to go to the documentation, or click GitHub to go to the code base. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter. And if you have any questions, shoot us a message there. And please give us a star on the GitHub repository. Thank you, and I hope you'll enjoy.